Alright guys, it is me, the Wesman, and that is my one stall garage. It's actually been quite a while. It's been probably a month or month and a half, maybe 2 months. I don't know, but whatever it was, it certainly wasn't the next day. We're getting back on the rat rod today. I believe that this will be part number 4 of the rat rod. Let me just say that maybe I thought something like, are you kidding me? One of those kind of things. One of the reasons that I truly wanted to build a rat rod is because, you know, that's something you can do on a budget. Something that you can do at home. You can make it your own. You know, it's your design, your build, it's you that's doing it. So anyway, I was sitting in the house watching a video on YouTube. Now this wasn't, though it was on YouTube, it wasn't from a creator. It was a TV show that has since been put on YouTube. And I'm not going to tell you what the name of the show was. I don't want to do that. But beginning to end, it was a rat rod build. And it was several episodes all rolled into one. They went out and they found an old Ford Roadster body. Pretty solid, pretty good shape. And I'm like, yeah, this is going to be cool. Well then, right from there, that's where the normal people build ended. They went right to a custom frame shop and they bought a brand new complete frame, complete suspension kit, complete front end kit, complete rear end with brakes. I mean, absolutely everything from the body down was brand new. And that just took it right out of the hands of the average working guy and put it right back into the wallet of someone that just really has money. You know, a lot of money to just go out and, though these two guys build it, it's a car build show. I just thought, man, it turned out that's a mega dollar build. I can't imagine what that cost because they didn't say, but they also went and did a high dollar flathead build with a blower and just a massive build. That's not what my rat rod is. Rat gasm, as I call it, is being built right here in my one stall garage. I've scrounged pieces, most everything is used. I mean, I bought the ladder bar kit from S&W Race Cars several years ago, but other than that, all of this stuff is, well, stuff that I'm building right here. I bought the original, that front half of the chassis right there. That was a complete 2-wheel drive S10 chassis. That is the rear end out of it. I bought that whole chassis for 150 bucks. You know, that's something you can do. That kind of stuff is out there. So is those brand new chassis, but I don't have the money for that. And that's not the kind of build I'm doing. I guess I complained long enough or moaned and groaned long enough. I have the frame pieces separated, as you can see. I got my ladder bars out and I am gonna start mocking up, put you guys up on the tripod while I take some measurements and stuff so you can see that. So we are gonna get to it. Okay, so let me show you what's going on. Went ahead and pulled this out. I held it up here and I figured that with these faced up this way, that they were going to stick up above the chassis and the body sits down on here. So this would come in contact. So I flipped them over. They don't care if they're that way or that way. That way they will clear the body. And I measured it out that it was going to be 3 inches from the center of the bar to the frame, front and back. And then this is going to be mounted on here. Let me see if I can do this again, one-handed. There. Now again, we see we slide this out of here. So those are going to sit on there like that. Of course, this will be up just a tad bit when I weld it on there. Just slide that back. They'll be like that. Now I can, once I get these welded, I can go ahead and cut this off so it's back here, even with the brackets. I think that is how we're going to go right there. We'll mark this. I'm going to have to take this off. I'll do that right now. I'm going to put a chalk line on here so I can clean that off with the, get the rust off of that, the paint off of it, and this as well. So I'm going to clean that off. I'll set this back up again. We're going to get this welded on, but I think before I weld this, I'm going to drill a couple of holes in here as well so that I can put a couple of plug welds in there as well instead of just going around, which sure would be good enough, but I'm going to put a couple of plug welds on each side as well. So I'm going to do that, going to drill that out, clean these two spots up, and we're going to get ready to tack that on. And then we'll just do the same thing on the other side. Let me set you guys up on time lapse, and I'll get some of that stuff started, all right? So I've got this clamped on, got that cleaned off, clamped on. I set that back up on there to get my measurement for that. I'll just match it on the other side. Now I was contemplating cutting the end of this off before I got that mounted on there. Once I get that all welded, I'll be able to take the ladder bar off, and all that will be on there will be those brackets, and I'll be able to get in there with either the plasma cutter or Sawzall or something and cut the end of that off, and we'll just cap it. But for now, we are just going to weld that on there. I think that I'm just going to put some good heavy tack welds on it in case there's anything wrong and I need to come back and take it off. But once I get this all mocked up, I'm going to take these center ones out and get everything burned in solid. So I'm probably have to turn the welder on. Now I can get a couple on the top there. All this welding that has to be done on the bottom, I'll do that when I can stand up the chassis. Well, that is 6 good tacks. So I'm going to hold that back up there now, get ready to tack that back on. There's back brackets and then the front. So I'm going to get right back to you. I'm going to get that set up and I'll be right back. right, so that is tacked into place. And that's going to be hard to get to down there until I get that axle out from underneath it so I can reach all those angles so its frame's not in the way, that kind of thing. So I am going to put my GoPro on the charger and I am going to start mocking up that other side, and I'll see you over there in just a bit. Dang it. And while that was charging, I went ahead and got that other side, well, I guess would be the driver's side. I got that up and tacked into place. Then I ran out of welding wire, so I went in the house, ate my dinner, chilled out for about an hour and 45 minutes, and I have come back out to get back to work. Now, I'm not going to get a lot more done tonight. My plan is change that welding wire, and then I think that I'm going to start taking apart the back half of that so that I can roll it around and upside down and all of that stuff so I can get ready to do the finished welding on the back half of that. I don't know that I'm going to do the welding tonight, but I am going to try to get the rear end out of it and get those old ladder bars off, and it'll be ready to roll around and weld, and hopefully maybe we can do that tomorrow. I'm going to turn you around real quick. I'll show you the other side that it is in fact tacked on. Now my screen is black, so I really can't see. Let me see if I can take my gloves off and touch the screen. The screen comes on if I touch it. I've just taken the tires off so that easier to get in there, be able to get that tacked on and get the axle tubes cleaned up. And again, they are 3 inches away from the frame rail, both front and back on both sides, and I'm tripping over jack stands and stuff. 3 inches. So a little bit more welding to do. Well, actually a lot of welding to do, but I'm able now. I could probably change that wire in the morning, but I think I'm going to go ahead, since it's all out, change that wire, and then I'll move some stuff around so I can start tearing all that contraption apart. And when I do, I'll be taking these other ladder bars out and they will be staying out. So that's that. So we got that wire changed on the welder. I'm going to kind of wrap that up and just get it moved out of the way for now so we can make a little space and start getting the chassis taken care of. So I'm just going to turn you around a little bit. I'll BS you for a second while I'm getting that wrapped away. Let me see if I will swivel, you know, do something like that. It is going on midnight already, or maybe it is midnight. Hey Alexa, what time is it? Maybe she's angry because it's late. Maybe that speaker's plugged in and not working, maybe. Those off of there. I had an old 110, just a 110 MIG electric, no gas system. And I used it. A lot of the welding that I did initially on this from that 110 MIG. But Ginger got this for me for my birthday about 4 years ago. And it sat a long time because I hadn't been working on this. Man, I love this welder though. It is the bee's knees, as they might say. See if we can put some of these tools away that we're not going to be using for this. Whoa, Wesman. That's right, baby. This is going to take entirely too long to clean up. So let's just fast forward ahead, shall we? All right, so we're going to start taking this thing apart. I'm going to take off the shock, panhard bar, ladder bars. We're going to support the back of the chassis so when the rear end's free, we can just roll it right out behind it. So we're going to do that. But not with that wrench. At least not for that. I can do that. Ladder bars with those two. I was saying earlier that these bolts were long and I was going to have to either cut them or get some washers or buy new bolts. Well, laying up there on the workbench, a package of bolts for these. I think that these ones actually, for those two, why they were so long, I'd probably get my air ratchet and go a lot quicker. But who wants to use modern technology? Even a ratchet would be faster than this, huh? Woohoo! All right, well, here it is, all stripped down. Ladder bars, coilovers, panhard bar, and now the fun begins. So I am going to wrap it up for tonight, but I'll be back out here tomorrow and we'll get some more work done. We're going to have to take this old cross member out. This is from the original ladder bars that we are not using, so that'll have to be taken out. Then we're going to have to go around, weld all those in. Now that panhard bar mount, I guess when I started to take that off, I never welded this one here towards the back, so it fell off, so I had to stop and tack that back on real quick. All this stuff is just tack. Got to go over all of this stuff to weld it in. Got to weld the bottom of these on the bottom, the ladder bar mounts. These are just tacked on, so they'll have to be welded. And then on these, on the rear end, these brackets from the original ladder bars are going to have to be hacked off. The panhard bar, the shock mounts, and the new ladder bar mounts will have to be burned in. And once I get that done, we can start putting this thing back together. Now I do have, and it might be easier to do while it's out, I'm not sure, but I've got that new ring and pinion in the installation kit, because that is a 411 gear. All those second generation S10s that had 4 cylinders, 5 speeds, had 411 gears. And it's a posi unit. That's way too much for a 350 turbo. I'd just be screaming going down the road. So I got that new set of gears, and they are 323s, and that sure will make it a lot more fun to drive. That's where we're at right now. Got to get those things cut off and burned on, that cut off, and the rest of this stuff burned on. We will be back at it tomorrow. It's late. Not sure what time it is, but it's late. Let me see here. Let me unplug this old lady. Hey, Alexa, what time is it? Alexa don't like me. Hey, Alexa, what time is it? Maybe she needs rebooted or something. Anyway, it's late. I know that. I come back out here from inside at about 11:30. It's got to be 1 or 1:30 by now. Hey, Alexa, are you not working? All right, I'm going in. See you guys tomorrow. I got to clean this stuff up real quick and get the front half of the chassis back in, and then I'm going in. Manata. I am going to weld your tacks. I'm going to burn you in, put you back together. It's been a long time coming, old friend, and now the time is here. Got the top of this mount ground down. Also, I took off the old cross member for the old ladder bars. I'm not going to cut any more of it apart than this. I'm going to put this, I guess, right here with the old ladder bars. Maybe I can find somebody that can use these. Like I said, they're brand new. They've never been used. I mean, they've been bolted on, but never been pounded on or anything like that. Get a little bit of light so I can see when it's not Oh, this will make a difference. Yeah. It's hard to get in between those because they're tight. Probably I'm gonna have to get most of that from the outside of that bracket to get a good bite on it, and underneath. Let me move over to the inside here and see what I can do, because that just isn't gonna work from that angle. This welding blanket, apron, whatever you want to call it, so it helps out. It's hot and it's a pain. Okay, let's see if I can get a tap over here. I'll back you guys up. Hello! I gotta move my welder a little bit closer. Should probably plug that in. So I got this thing stood up on its side, and I'm gonna grind a couple of spots off and get some more welding done. See if I can bend you down just a tad, get some of this. Let me take a look, see what you're seeing. Okay, we will try that. YouTube. That's kind of stupid. Hey, I got some welding done on the one side, and I have flipped it over. I've got to do a couple of more pieces on this side. I've got to weld this in here. I got to get the tops and around here on these. And I have to grind a little spot here that I used to have a piece of rebar on there holding up the axle before any of the suspension was on. Then I gotta weld, let me tip you a little more. Okay. Then I gotta weld these tangs. I gotta weld these here for the shock mounts. And I think that'll about do it. So I don't have to spend 2 hours having you guys up on regular filming. I am going to put you guys up on another time lapse. I'm gonna get those welded in, and we'll see where we go from here. So I went ahead and jumped ahead a little bit and got it rolled over on the other side when I had it up there, and got the rest of the welding and grinding done. And then I went over it with a flap disc and a wire wheel or a paint stripper, and got all that surface rust off and gave it some primer. So it is black, all ready to go. There's a little bit of that primer still wet. All right guys, we are gonna leave this video right here. It's getting kind of long, so I'm gonna split it. I am still currently filming. We're gonna go right through into the next video, which we'll be calling, you guessed it, but this was Rat Gasm Part 4. And I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in for this one. We got it a lot of work done, and we're gonna keep right on rolling. So until next time, all right, I'm still here. Until next time, I'll see you then. Thanks for joining in.